So it seems like every time I put out a chatterbait video, I get a lot of questions. Do I really use braid? Gear ratio? What kind of rod? I'm gonna go through it from start to finish. This reel is just about out of braid. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go through it with you. So as you can see, the line's a little low on the spool. And last time I was out, I made a few casts with it. This is what I come across. So basically when I casted, you can see the knot here where I tied braid to braid. Just a couple simple overhand knots is all I ever use. When the reel gets that low, I change it. I only put 75 or 100 yards on. That's it. I leave the rest on the spool. And just so you guys know, I do use 20, 30 pound, whatever I got laying around the house, just kind of junk line or old braid for backing. I'll fill about half a spool and let her be. And yeah, I just use Power Pro. It's 20 pound test. It's 6 pound diameter, guys. Trust me, them fish ain't seeing it. This is a 300 yard spool. I usually get 3 reelfuls. Because like I said, I only put 75 to 100 yards on at a time. So these are both the ends of my line. What I did was light it with a lighter and just make a small ball on the end. All I usually do is just simple overhand knots. And honestly, I'll only usually do 2. Then I'll pull them together. That's all you need, because you're not going to get down to that anyways. Those balls with that lighter make it to where they don't slip out. And I'll show you how I use that on my lure also. It's not going to take a ton of resistance, but for what we're using for backing, it'll work perfect. So all I usually do, guys, I have a chair out in the garage. I'll set it in the chair and just make it so it unwinds this way. You don't need a lot of tension on it. Whatever works for you. So I fill my spool to where it's just under. I hope you guys can see that. I don't fill it all the way to the rim. There's no need to. So this is the one I just re-spooled. You can see it's a piece of fun, but this one actually has a label still on it. They're both 7-to-1 gear ratio. These are Torrents. I guess I can show you this way. 7-to-1 to me is perfect for a chatterbait. Simply because you got all the cranking power you need when they're running at you. And if you need to, you can just slow down, slow wind. You know, you don't have to have 5-to-3 gear ratio for a chatterbait. I just wind slower. The rods I use, they're just Bass Pro Shop qualifiers. Let's see. Both of these, I'm hoping you guys can see that. They're 7.6. Medium heavy action, extra fast. These rods have been great for me. I can't complain a bit. It's the only thing I throw that chatterbait on. So of course, I throw a Z-Man 3/8 ounce chatterbait. This is a green pumpkin. It's got the red craw Wheeler Whacker on it. It's what I've been throwing here a little bit. I always use a Palomar knot on my chatterbaits. A Palomar knot is simply go through the line and then go back through. So you have your tag line and your main line together with the loop on the other end. like so. Give yourself a little extra room. And what you want to do is just tie an overhand knot. And what I do is grab that loop and pull it through. So it's basically just an overhand knot with your main line and your tag line, and then you have your loop. Grab your lure, pull it through, and then snug up both lines. So what I like to do here is take my tag line. You guys know I use a lighter a lot on braid, and I burn that tag line. Okay, what that does is it puts a little ball at the end. I'm hoping you can see that. That will not pull through. Okay, I know a lot of guys say braid slips, this and that. That's not coming through. It actually prevents any slippage if it gets that close. Guys, I can't say enough. It's an easy setup. Braid is phenomenal. When you get stuck into pads, you could pull them out. You don't have to go up in there and mess up the whole area. You can pull them right out. It rips through pads like you wouldn't believe. I'm not that guy that loses fish. I don't break off fish with braid. It's a very, very rare occasion. If you guys don't give it a try, you'll never know. Trust me, give it a whirl, grab your favorite rod and reel, throw some braid on it, 20-pound Power Pro, and get busy with the chatterbait. I've done well on these baits for years. I'm doing nothing special except for this. That's it. Braid is the key, I'm telling you. Get you some Wheeler whackers, throw them on the back of them chatterbaits and have at it. They work well on jig heads. They work well on many of things. But you gotta get them and get out there and try them. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you out there.